Here's a story I've only ever told a handful of people. It goes back to 1998. I was stationed in Southern California, and it's really where my jiu-jitsu journey truly began. I was training at a small little club on Camp Pendleton, meeting over at Mainside. It was a handful of us. I'd say on a good night there'd be like 7 people. I mean, this was all real grassroots. Camp Pendleton had never even had a jiu-jitsu anything before that. It was the first Brazilian jiu-jitsu training that ever happened on Pendleton. At that time, where the story really takes place, I think I had done about 2 tournaments, maybe 3 tournaments by then. At that time, there was only, I kid you not, 6 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gyms in all of San Diego County. I'm estimating about 6, because in my mind I was kind of thinking of all the names that we kind of would hear at tournaments and whatnot. You'd hear stuff through the grapevine. So there was a group that started training about 25 to 30 minutes south of Camp Pendleton. So the main group of guys that I trained with that competed, it was 4 of us that competed more often than anyone else. There were some other guys touch and go, but yeah. So there was a core group of like 4 of us that were competing more often than anyone else. We heard about this other school, and we found out the schedule, and it was on days that we weren't training. We only trained twice a week. I mean, it wasn't like a lot. But so we get in my buddy's 4Runner, and we go down there on whatever night it was, had our gis, and we pull into the parking lot. It was like a karate school that was like giving them space to do jiu-jitsu, which was very typical at that time period in the 90s. And we pull in, and same situation. They only had a few people in there. We pull up, and we're looking through the window. It had the big glass storefront type windows. It was like a retail type spot. We're sitting there in the 4Runner. We're seeing these guys doing some of the same stuff that we do. It was like at the beginning of class. I'm pretty sure it was more like warm-up type stuff. But it was so weird. We're all sitting in the 4Runner. There's 4 of us. And we all were like, nah, man. Nah, I can't do it. Like, it just felt wrong to go train with some other team. It was just, all of us felt the same way. I don't know, man. It just didn't seem right. We're going in there with our gis on, with our team patches and whatnot. I mean, this wasn't a challenge match. We weren't in there like dojo raiding the place. No one. Luis was the blue belt we were under. Yeah, we were under a blue belt. That's another funny thing to talk about. He was a blue belt that was running the thing at Pendleton, and we were under Rick Lucero, who was a black belt. So we'd go train with Rick whenever we could up in Pomona on Saturdays, but another story, for another time. So Luis never told us we could or couldn't do anything. It wasn't like there weren't conversations about it, because there's very few places to train jiu-jitsu in Southern California at the time. So it wasn't like a thing where we were like, I feel, Luis said this, Luis said that. We just felt it wasn't right. We just put it in reverse and left, man. But yeah, I mean, we never even stepped foot on the mats. It's one of those things. I think every person has an understanding of what gym loyalty is about. But we didn't have anything in our ear telling us we couldn't do it. It was just our organic understanding of loyalty. And, granted, 3 of us were Marines. 1 guy was a former sailor in that group. But in the military, you definitely have a pretty firmer understanding of what loyalty is about. But, we weren't doing military stuff. We were on our own time. I think some of that is just a cultural understanding, because we have a culture now especially with younger people, where it's about you and what you can get out of a situation, and whatever's best for you is what you're going to go ahead after. And there's all these validations for why you can do this or that, and why it doesn't matter if you do it. Like it's because it's for your benefit. We could have took that approach. I mean, we were all competing. We could have been like, you know what, this is a necessary component for us to get better at competition, is rolling with these other guys, finding out what they got technique wise, and trying to learn and develop that and add it to our game. And we could have took that approach. I don't think that was in our minds really. I think really what it was is we loved jiu-jitsu. Like we were all like very much in love with jiu-jitsu. So we were gonna go check out another jiu-jitsu place, and it was very innocent. It was very kind of like naive in a way. We didn't think it through very well till we pulled in and we looked and we saw, another school, their logos, all that stuff. Then it kind of hits you. It's like, oh man, no, what am I doing? No, you know what I mean? Or maybe you don't. We live in weird times. But there was no social media. There weren't people pushing this kind of stuff in the jiu-jitsu community at that time. It was a different time. America was a different place.